Hello YouTube, it's Sign here with Hobbies Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another first impressions review for a manga. Today we're going to be looking at Dororon Okuni-Chan Volume 1. This is in Spanish. This is written by Hiroyuki Takahashi, and it's published by Manga Line Mexico, as you guys can see, with that little ML logo right there. And this is in Spanish. The demographic here, I think, is shonen. It might be shoujo, actually. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. And I didn't write it down because I'm doing this off the top of my head this time. And the genres here are kind of magical girl, comedy, satire / parody, and generally adventure. This is actually labeled under Manga Line's adventure segment, I guess. They do this thing where they color code their books. As you guys can see, this has green on it all over the place. And that's because this is part of their adventure, their adventure line. Manga Line's other book, Sword Guy, also has this same tag. It says Aventura right there, which means adventure in Spanish. And the other book that I've reviewed by them is, I think, red colored because it's drama or love. I can't remember what the other genre is. And there's also a few other ones. There's a comedy one and, more stuff like that. So yeah, this does not have an adaptation. It's only a 4-volume long series, so it doesn't really have that much going for it in terms of likelihood of being adapted. Usually things that are adapted are not going to be little short series. At least that's my experience here. And the premise is basically that there's this girl. Her name is Okuni, or at least that's what people call her. And she is friends with these two other girls. And one day she actually ends up picking up this scarf that ends up being a demon, and then this actually ends up with her meeting this demon of the underworld that controls a lot of things, and she decides to pay her back by granting her one wish. And the thing is that Okuni only wishes to have feminine power, which I think means sex appeal, but I'm not really sure. Because of the way that it's translated into Spanish, I'm not sure if it's supposed to mean what I think it means. Because, it's not actually all that easy to switch between languages. Sometimes something means something in one language and it doesn't really translate exactly the same into another one. So I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be. But the closest thing I can think of is sex appeal. So yeah, and so she asks for this demon to grant her this. And she does so, and this actually ends up with Okuni basically having magical girl powers, but she's kind of an evil magical girl, so she ends up transforming into this crazy character. Let me see if I can pull it up so you guys can see. Right there. And she ends up, going through a magical girl situation, and fighting a bunch of different demons because she is having to basically pacify them so that they can go back to the underworld or wherever they come from, and so that the world doesn't end up having so much trouble. Along the way, she also ends up meeting her male counterpart, Rain Man, who basically just looks like Nightwing and is supposed to be like the masked guy from Sailor Moon. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and mostly it is satire and comedy. A lot of the stuff that they do are references to other magical girl works and to other pop culture things. And there's actually a very good thing that Manga Line added here at the end, which is a glossary and a translation guide and a bunch of things that tell you all of the things that you might have missed. So yeah, this is a glossary, and it shows you translations and it shows you reference materials. So it's quite good. I like it a lot. I think it's a very well-made book. I really like the extra features that it has, and I also think that the story is pretty fun. It's not really my favorite, but it being only 4 volumes and this company being relatively new, I think is going to be good enough for me to buy all 4 of these volumes and support the company as much as I can. So I probably will end up buying the rest of this series. Other than that, there really isn't much more to say. So let me just show you all of the stuff that came with this book and how it differs from an American volume, and some of the problems that it has. So let's start with the bad things. There's some issues with printing and cutting of this of this book. So there are some generic printing errors, like the fact that sometimes the ink looks like it's printed multiple times in the same thing, and so it ends up with this very ugly kind of like difficult to read bolded letter. There's also issues where the machine isn't calibrated correctly, so one side is printed at one length and one position, and the other side is not printed in that same length and position. And so when they cut the pages, one side looks normal and the other side has a big line of extra material there that shouldn't be there. It's just a blank white paper, right? But it does end up looking tacky or / like it's not very well made. And that is a concerning thing. But I think it's fine because this is their first title, and they did a pretty good job. There are some situations where that happens, but generally it's not that bad. It is more or less easy to read. There was 1 or 2 times where it was cut too close to the bubble, the word bubble. So I couldn't read everything that was said, but I could infer what was being said anyway. So it's not that bad. So that's the issues. Now let's just look at all of the stuff that comes with it. First, it comes with this little obi belt, which is supposed to be used as advertisement, and it really just advertises its own series. It says, just generic things. Let me see what it says here. It says, my dream is to become a Sailor Guardian. So she wants to be Sailor Moon. And here's, just looks into the inside of the series of the book. Then there's this very nice blue dust jacket that is not folded correctly, or not printed well. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's not enough of the spine aligned correctly with the spine of the book, but it's not too bad. Here's what the outside looks like. Here's what the flaps look like. Characters all over the place. I actually really like this blue color. I think it's very nice looking. Here's the inside with some of those fun little Tankobon extras that sometimes are in the book, in the Japanese editions. There's no color pages in this book, but it doesn't really matter. It has extras in other ways. And then the pre-order bonuses for this book were this nice little bookmark. Again, it's very floppy compared to the Panini ones that I usually get. This very nice postcard that has holographic material on it, but it doesn't have the postcard thing on the back, which is kind of a shame. I would have really liked it to have it. And this little sticker sheet. So you have Okuni, and then you have a bunch of the little demon characters, and that's the main demon woman. There's Rayman, and these 2 little Daft Punk guys that showed up at the end of the book. So yeah, overall, it's good stuff. I liked it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to pick up the rest of it. So that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought, and thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.